Hello again, folks. Now, get this. Apparently, there's something going on, right? It's a plot in Westminster. And this is according to the papers this morning that Angela Rayner, Labour's very own Deputy Prime Minister, is sharpening her knives for a coup to topple Keir Starmer and do a kind of Rishi Sunak, slink into number 10 without so much as a by your leave from the voters. So how do I feel about Angela Rayner as Prime Minister? Well, I've got a few thoughts and none of them are suitable for a family-friendly panto. So let's start with the coup itself. Apparently, Rayner's been scribbling memos, whispering in corners and rallying the troops to shove Starmer under a routemaster bus. She's pushing for tax hikes on the rich, waving the red flag of the Labour left, and eyeing the top job like a kid staring at the last biscuit in the tin. Now, I'm no fan of Starmer, who is these days. Let's be clear, the man's about as inspiring as a wet Tuesday in Slough, and I should know I've been to Slough. His big plan seems to be frowning at problems until they go away or just don't deal with them at all, and his U-turn on winter fuel payments shows he's got the spine of a jellyfish. But Rayner, she's playing a different game. She's out there, all working class swagger, trying to paint herself as the people's champion while Starmer's busy alienating his own MPs with talks of islands of strangers. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for someone shaking up the Westminster bubble. It's a swamp of suits who wouldn't know a real problem if it bit them on the backside. But Angela Rayner as Prime Minister, that's not a shake-up, that's a seismic disaster waiting to happen. This woman who's reportedly been plotting against Starmer since the ink was still wet on Labour's election win, stirring the pot with her soak the rich tax plans and cozying up to the unions like they're her personal fan club. She's not just on manoeuvres, folks, she's practically got a neon sign over her head flashing future PM vote Ange, and if the gossip's true, her boyfriend's in on it, cooking up some momentum-style think tank to rebuild Labour while the rest of us are still trying to figure out what they're rebuilding it from. So how do I feel about her running the country? Honestly, it's like being asked if I trust a fox to babysit my chickens. Rayner's got the charm of a bulldog chewing a wasp and the subtlety of a sledgehammer. She's loyal in public, they say, but behind closed doors, she's distancing herself from Starmer's flops faster than you can say pole plunge. Her big pitch is taxing the wealthy to avoid welfare cuts, and it sounds noble, but you remember that every Labour government in history has promised the moon and delivered a crater. And let's not forget her track record, swearing at Starmer, storming out of meetings and getting demoted for being a bit too bolshy for his liking. This isn't leadership, it's a tantrum with a title. Now, compare that to Rishi Sunak's slick accent. Say what you will about Rishi, he's about as exciting as a tax return, but he slid into number 10 with the grace of a cat burglar. No election needed. Rayner's trying the same trick, isn't she? But she's no Rishi. Sunak had the Tories in the chokehold. Rayner's got half her party whispering coup and the other half clutching their pearls. If she pulls this off, it won't be a coronation. It'll be a bar brawl with extra paperwork, and the idea of her strutting into Downing Street all Northern grit and union backing makes me wonder if we're one step away from Prime Minister's questions turning into a shouting match at a pub quiz. Do I think she could be Prime Minister soon? Sure, it's possible, but Starmer's wobbling like a bad tightrope act. And Rayner's got enough support among the Labour left to make a grab for the crown. But here's the thing, the UK's already a mess. Energy bills through the roof, pensioners freezing, and a government that can't decide if it's socialist or just sorry. Do we really need a Prime Minister who's more interested in settling scores than fixing problems? Rayner might think she's the answer, but to me, she's just another politician who'd rather climb the ladder than build a better country. So what do we take away from all this? Now, if Rayner wants to play Game of Thrones with Starmer's job, that's her funeral. But if she thinks she can waltz into number 10 and make everything rosy with a few tax hikes and a loud voice, she's dreaming. The UK doesn't need another power-hungry Chancellor. We need someone who can actually govern without turning it into a circus. And until then, I'll be here watching the chaos unfold, probably with a pint and a headache. And there we go. I am past 49. Until the next time, stay sharp, keep your eyes peeled, and for the love of sanity, don't let the Westminster clowns run the show unchecked. See you next time. Roger Trout.